Hello, Leigh Anne.
Hello.
Good morning, and how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Is it just you this morning, Leigh Anne?
Well, I'm sitting. Sean is right here next to me. I would love for you to chat with him as well.
I didn't know if it was just you or if we got the fam there. I was just checking in.
It's Sean and I. I'm on one phone, so we're right here.
Perfect.
We're in New Orleans. We had a screening, a red carpet event in New Orleans last night. So we're still down here. So we're a long way from Montana.
Yeah, that is a long way. And I can imagine the excitement for you guys with all this, though. I mean, how cool is it to do something in your life which to you guys probably seemed pretty normal? You know, you probably seemed like this is the right thing to do, and you do it, and now there's a book written about it, and now a movie, and Sandra Bullock is playing you in a movie. How crazy is that?
It is crazy. I mean, it's we never anticipated going through this journey that anybody would find this interesting, and we're just kind of amazed that it's gotten to this point. And but we honestly believe that this is something that God obviously had His hand in from the beginning, because it's taken this crazy little path, and everybody seems to like it, which is we're so pleased with that, because we do hope that you'll go see the movie and leave the theater maybe and want to do something different than when you came into it. And, for that, we're okay by it all. So.
I'm going to be walking down the street right after I leave the movie trying to find a talented athlete to adopt. It's already worked on me.
Let me tell you, that's not. It's kind of funny how the different images and things that people have in their mind when they see this or think about it. But Michael basically was homeless on the street and had no athleticism to speak of that people knew of. And but look, I mean, that's just the point. Here's a kid that basically the society had deemed valueless and thought he had no worth whatsoever. And he comes into a home, and you love and feed and clothe and shelter. And you just look at what has happened. And now he's a contributing member of this society. He's an amazing athlete. Speaking to his mother, he is the best tackle in the National Football League. And he's making money and successful. And,
a lot of money.
And, this is a kid that 9 years ago that society just basically had deemed worthless. So,
yeah, it is such an amazing
how many
story.
Michael Ohers are out there? That's the question we have to ask ourselves.
What did you? I mean, obviously, most of this is probably explained in the movie, but since it opens today, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. What made you guys decide? I mean, because obviously there had to be other people that knew of his situation. Why did you guys think, and how did it come to happen where you thought, like, we'll actually take this guy in and let him live with us, rather than just thinking, oh, we'll buy him a meal, or, oh, that poor guy. Like, what made you take that extra step?
Well, I mean, that's how it started, and I don't think other people realize that's the whole point. Michael had been passed over by everybody. I mean, Michael had been in 12 or 13 foster homes. I mean, he had slept on people's couches. The bottom line is, when we met Michael, there wasn't really anybody that cared whether he lived or died. I mean, there was no one that woke up every morning wanting to know where Michael Oher was. I mean, that's just the cold hard facts of it. Mm-hmm. And the bottom line is that no one cared, and we did. I mean, it wasn't like we saw him and said, boom, here's this African-American teenage male, and we're going to bring you into our home and adopt you. It wasn't like that. I mean, Michael, we saw Michael. We actually, just took him at first. He didn't have any clothes, and so we bought him some clothes, and then, fed him some meals, and then he spent the night one night, and then the next, he stayed a week, and all of a sudden it was a month, and it just kind of happened. It wasn't a plan. Mm-hmm. And so, we didn't set out with a mission to do that. It just kind of happened through a series of days, and the days turned into weeks, and then, all of a sudden we're looking at each other, and here we are. We're not sure how we got here, but we obviously believe that this story is bigger than we are. So, as my husband says in our house, we believe in miracles, and we just think that this whole little story is a miracle.
Was it, how fun was it for Sean, being a sports guy himself, and then getting a chance to, have this guy come into your house, you end up adopting him, and then it turns out that he's a great athlete? That's got to be kind of nice. It's like you get a bonus son. Every dad wants a good athlete son, and now all of a sudden it's like you hit the jackpot. You try to do something nice, and it turns out working out great.
Well, here, let me let you ask him that question. Hold on a minute.
Perfect.
Hello.
Hello, Sean. It's Big J in Montana. How's it going?
I'm going just fine.
Excellent. Well, how cool was it as a dad to, do this nice thing that you did and take this guy in with Michael and then have him turn out that he's a great athlete? I mean, I know you're a big sports guy, so how much of a bonus was that for you?
Well, I mean, it was nice because, it kind of flowed with the theme of the family almost. Because, as I tell everybody, I majored in basketball in college. It wasn't like if he was an English prodigy, I could have helped. But, it was just like watching any of your kids. And, nervous when he played and glad when it was over and, supportive and a little amazed because he seemed to progress so fast, but he had good coaches and good teaching, and that was kind of the whole process with Michael, is that there was so much potential there that nobody ever thought of.
Yeah.
That all he needed was a chance, and then you'd watch him in class, and all of a sudden he'd end up being one of the smartest kids in the class, and you'd watch him on the football field and end up being one of the best players on the field, and just realized that this kid had a lot to give, and all he needed was really a good chance, and he took advantage of it. That's
clearly,
sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, you've got to obviously be so proud with this whole thing here. Seeing the movie, it's got to be pretty cool for you there. How do you think Tim McGraw does at portraying you? And is it weird to see a superstar like Tim McGraw acting out your life in a movie?
Well, it's kind of like the first time you hear your voice on an answer machine. You go, that's not really me.
Yeah.
Everybody sits around and goes, yeah, that's you. Well, it's kind of the same thing when you see somebody portray you. You go, I'm not like that. Now I look at you and go, oh, yeah, you're just like that.
You really are.
If they can recognize me through him, then he obviously did a good job. He's good.
Yeah.
He works hard at it. He's very serious about it. It isn't like he passed through the set and they'd grab him for an hour. And I mean, he gave everything he had. And
did his research.
I remember talking to him, going, "Why the heck are you doing this?" And he says, "Well, I'm not going to give up my day job, but he's an artist, and I think he wants to stretch and see what potential he has." And he took it very serious, and great guy, and just like all the people we've met, it's really been pleasant.
Very cool. The movie is called The Blind Side. It opens here today in Billings. And one side question that I'm sure nobody else has asked you this morning. I know you own some Taco Bells and Long John Silver's. We got Taco Bell's covered up here, but not one Long John Silver's.
Oh,
so,
no.
It's a disgrace.
You got to have the LJS's, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially they have nice warm food. You can warm your hands over it and then eat it.
I don't know who we need to talk to here about making that happen, but we need to get on it.
No, I've heard gorgeous country. I've never been to Montana.
You might have to make a trip and open up a few LGSs up here.
I would love to.
Excellent. Sean and Leigh Anne, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck in the future. And tell Michael hi and send our best wishes his way.
Thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.